Welcome back, everybody. It is another full day of eating video. My name is Jeanine. If you are new here, I am a nutrition and women's weight loss and fitness coach. I'm also certified in menopause. I myself am in menopause, and this series is full days of eating macro-friendly meals that are easy, delicious, not extravagant recipes, just super easy to fit into any of your macros. So if you're interested in that kind of content, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow along. Now, that being said, I also want to say that your calorie limit and protein goals might be different than mine, but it doesn't mean that you can't benefit from these videos, because you could easily alter them to fit any of your macronutrient profiles. Now, for me and the way I teach my clients is we focus on calories, we focus on protein, kind of let the carbs and fats make up the rest of the equation. I do try to make well-balanced meals so you're getting a little bit of every macro, but I only target a goal of protein. It makes it so much easier, and to be honest, you guys, you can get excellent results without overcomplicating it. That's the kind of method that I teach my clients. If you are interested in knowing what your macros would be, what your calories would be, what your protein goal should be based off of your current goals and information, I do macro assessments, and you can click down in the description to get a macro assessment from me. I also run women's weight loss challenges. They're 8-week programs. Doors are currently closed for that, but I am taking a wait list for the next registration, which will open in September. So if you're potentially interested in joining one of those programs, you can also find the information down in the description as well. So let's go ahead and get started on today's food. I'm excited because I've been craving oatmeal. I haven't had oatmeal in a minute, and oatmeal is like a staple for me. But the way I make my oatmeal is I add protein. So let's go ahead and get started with the first meal. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with some oats. I'm gonna do half a cup of oats. We're going to do 1 cup of water. So we, of course, are going to do protein oats. So I'm using my 1UP Nutrition. Vanilla ice cream is the flavor we're going with today. So I'm going to use a whole scoop of protein powder in the oats, but some of it, so I'm going to save some of it, we're going to just mix directly into the cooked oats, which we'll do that in a second. But I'm saving some because I want to make like a creamy drizzle for the top of the oats. So let's call this like creamy protein oats. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but pretty much with any one of the 1UP Nutrition protein powders, I like to make little protein sauces. And the way you do that is just mix a little Fairlife milk into the protein powder until it's a sauce consistency. This only works with protein powders that are very tasty. Otherwise, it's not going to taste very good. And 1UP Nutrition is very tasty. So I'm only going to do like a little bit of milk. Let's see what I end up needing. Fat-free Fairlife milk, by the way. You really only need a very little bit. So we're at 19 mLs, and I think this is going to be good. So let's just round it up and say 20 mLs of, and you're going to get a nice little protein creamy topping for your oats. Some stevia drops. Yum. Okay, so I'm making the oats over here, and I'm going to turn down the heat now. You've been following me, you know I do this. I like volume. You're in a calorie deficit, you want big meals. Riced cauliflower. This is a frozen one. I'll add a half a cup to my oats. So as you can see, It has been added. This is going to increase the volume of this significantly. You will not be able to taste the oats. So I'm gonna let that heat up and let that cauliflower fully thaw. And now this has doubled the volume of my oats. Now we go in with 2 tablespoons of sugar-free Carrie's maple syrup. This will sweeten it up and just give it a really good flavor. And then of course the cauliflower has increased the volume significantly. So I'll just leave that warming up a little bit. All right. Let's pour the oats on in here. You're gonna see the portion size is nice and big. It fills this bowl, and this bowl is huge. So if you had less calories to work with, or you wanted this to be lower in calorie, you could easily make this and then split this in 2 and then just reheat it when you're ready to eat the second one. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm also gonna put peanut butter, but here's the protein sauce. So it's gonna be creamy, this creamy protein drizzle. It's almost like a frosting. If you wanted to, you could even add powdered stevia to this, and it would make it even sweeter, like a dessert. Oh, but it's so good. Okay, now I've got peanut butter. We're going to use the negative method on the scale. If you've been here, you know my method. You put the whole jar on here. Now we go, I want to do 16 grams. So we go until it says -16. Now, everything on the spoon we can eat. It's been tracked. And then we're going to add some blueberries. I just measure with my heart on the blueberries, to be honest. There you have it. Delicious. Loaded with protein. Good balance of macronutrients. You know I gotta give it a try. Okay, well, let's give it a try. Delicious. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the macros for this oatmeal because, you know, I like these videos to be teaching videos as well. So when I put together meals, even though I don't target like specific carbs or specific fats, I do like to make sure that they are a nice balance across the board. What does balanced macros mean to you? It means it's going to be very satisfying. It's going to control the insulin response. You know, if you have protein and fats, adequate protein and fats with your carbs, you're not going to have an insulin spike and a rapid drop in blood sugar like you would if you consumed carbs all by itself. So a well-balanced meal keeps you very full and satisfied, controls the post, you know, the post-meal cravings, and it will just, you know, it's very nutritious, right? Because it's got fats. The fats will help all of the nutrient absorption from all of the other nutrients. So that's why you want fats as well. So anyways, this is a nice balance. The macros are up on the screen. As you can see, 38 grams of protein, perfectly balanced. And I didn't even attempt to make it balanced. I didn't fixate on how many carbs I was eating or how many fats. I just knew to add some fats, right? And I focused on protein. This is what I mean by it can be very simple. If you focus on protein, stay within a calorie limit, carbs and fats are going to kind of make up the rest of the equation. This is what I teach to my clients, and this is what makes it so much simpler. If you're a type A person and if you've ever tried to track macros and you're trying to get everything to work, feels like a puzzle that's never going to fit, try this method. I promise you it works really well. Anyways, I'm going to enjoy my oats. Hopefully that makes some sense to you guys. Comment below if you have some questions. Happy to help you, and I will see you guys at dinner time. Somebody has infiltrated my kitchen full day of eating set. What do you have to say about yourself?
Infiltrate. I gotta eat too. I'm not gonna go starving. Sorry, Mrs. COJ does not own the kitchen here.
Mrs. C. I actually wish I was. I kind of want one of his burgers now. They are the best burgers, by the way.
Let him know, baby.
93% lean. Make sure that's on. And he just makes them so good. They taste amazing. And we use the either hero buns or the keto oral wheat buns. I'm not having that for dinner. I had something else planned, but I'm just kind of sad. But I figured since he was in here and I have the camera here, I may as well show you guys. Yeah, it's so good. He's preparing the bun over there, cheese and onion. But I do want to show you this because I'm going to make this. We actually have to head to the studio. We're going to be doing our podcast. It's so bright. There we go. That's better. It was so dark. So we actually have to head to the studio. We're going to do our podcast. So I want to come home and have I don't want to have to make the chicken when I get home, but I am doing Mediterranean bowl. It's literally my favorite, one of my favorite meals. But I get this, you can use any chicken, boneless, skinless chicken thighs and season to your liking. But I get this pre-seasoned chicken shawarma chicken thighs from Trader Joe's. And all I'm going to do is just put it in the air fryer so that when I get home, all I have to do is assemble the bowl. So it's actually quite meal prep friendly if you think about it, because at the beginning of the week, you just make up your chicken and then every day, assemble your bowl. And it makes it super easy. But then I walked in here, like I said, to make my chicken, and I saw the burgers, and I was like, man, I kind of want a burger. But we're doing the Mediterranean bowls. I do love the Mediterranean bowls. So let me go ahead and make this chicken. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek of Mike's burger too when it's done, since we're here, since he's making it. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. Let's see Mike's final result. Look how good that is. Like, who needs fast food?
Which had 100 grams of protein in it. Between both burgers are like 80 and 20 for the chips. I'm happy.
It looks delicious.
Oh my God.
Mike is the burger master for sure. So, all right, here's the chicken. So I cut it up into smaller pieces. Once it's cooked, I like to chop it really fine. But I air fried the shawarma for 20 minutes at 390. And now I'm going to chop it. I'm just going to chop it. I like it really finely chopped. Now it's only 2:00 right now. I still have to go to the studio and do a little bit of work, do the podcast, which, by the way, if you guys do not listen to my podcast, we talk about a lot of more educational stuff around nutrition, but we have a little fun with it, my husband and I, and that resides here on this channel. It is called Candidly with Coffee, and you might be surprised. You might enjoy it, so give it a shot. It's also everywhere you get podcasts, so you could also listen to it, but we do film it, and we have an episode twice a week, Mondays. On next Monday's episode, my daughter is going to co-host with me. I'm actually hoping to get her to co-host with me more often. She is in the fitness industry as well. She's currently running a gym, and she's a former competitor. So she brings a youthful perspective. We're actually very similar, though, in a lot of ways, but we don't look alike. I don't think so. Maybe you guys will think so. I don't think we look anything alike. Okay, so now I've got that chicken finally chopped. Okay, now I don't feel so bad that I'm not having a burger because I forgot how much I love this meal. It is so good. If you want a little bit more macro-friendly option or a little more convenient option, you could use chicken breast and just season it according to your likings. You can get those the shredded chicken from Target that's already made if you want more convenience and you don't want to have to do this part. Or you can make your own chicken breast in a crock pot and just shred it up for the week. There's just so many options. What I like to do is kind of decide on at least one main protein that I'm going to have for the week. And then I will make that ahead of time in my working outside of the home days, I would say, when I used to be in corporate. Make a protein for the week. So chicken, ground turkey, whatever. And then I would eat that all week long. So I'm not making protein every day because that's kind of a pain. This is a very common question that I get. So let me see if I can explain it to you. The macros that I have tracked for this product are based on the raw content because that's how the macros on the package were based on however the contents were inside of the package, which it was raw at the time. So the weights are based off of the raw weight. So 3 ounces raw, cooked is less, right? So if I were to weigh out 3 ounces cooked, that would be like I would have to log 4 ounces of the macros that I scanned off of that package. So you have to adjust for it. And so the way I adjust for it is whatever I eat, whatever I weigh out, which we'll determine after when I make the bowl, I will multiply that by 1.25, and that is what I will log. And so that's how you track, you account for raw versus cooked. It's not convenient to weigh out things, especially when you're meal prepping, when they're raw. It's just not convenient. So as long as you adjust for it, it's perfectly fine to weigh it out after it's cooked. The problem lies when you don't make adjustments for it, because then your macros are going to be off and it'll add up. That's pretty significant. Look how good that looks. Woo! It is not a video that I do without dropping something, but that's so good, so tender, so juicy. Well, the magic of YouTube, it feels like it's seconds for you guys, but it's been quite a while for me. I am going to put this into the toaster oven. It's Trader Joe's garlic naan bread. I'm going to put this into the toaster oven while we're assembling the bowl. This is so good. This is what it looks like. It tastes delicious once you toast it up. One whole piece is 250 calories. This is at the frozen section in Trader Joe's, and I love it because of that. It makes it kind of convenient because you don't have to eat it right away. And what I've really been enjoying is having 2 larger meals or calorie-dense meals rather than having a lot of little things. And that's what it's just been better for me satiety-wise and just more convenient for a busy day. You know what I mean? So this meal right here is going to have quite a few calories in it. I think my oatmeal ended up, I had put the macros on the screen, but it was like somewhere around 400. I'm still going to have one more treat after dinner, so make sure you stick around. I don't measure or track greens currently. And I'm sure I've discussed this before, but my concept or the way in which I go about tracking macros and teaching people to track macros is if you are getting results without having to be super strict on things like greens that are low calorie, then by all means proceed that way. If things start to slow down or you start to stall, that's the first place we adjust, is we go, okay, everything that you're not tracking or you're really loosely tracking or measuring, let's button down on those things. Some people never have to do the buttoning down. So if I don't have to measure my arugula and I'm still getting results, why would I measure my arugula? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, we've got cabbage here. Now I'm going to do a handful of arugula. And we've got a nice, dense, yummy bowl here. So this is shredded green cabbage. And then this is organic arugula, both from Trader Joe's. Leafy greens, seasonings, something like onions. I just don't. Sometimes I might log these in, but it's rare. So this is pickled onions. This brand is Mazzetta. You guys, so there's my greens with the pickled onions. Here's the chicken that I made earlier. I'm doing the fully cooked falafel from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna do 2 of those. There are so many ways you can cut the calories down on this meal. You could only have half of the naan bread if you want. You can do only 1 of the falafel balls. I'm gonna do 2. You could do less hummus. I'm actually gonna do 2 whole servings. So I'm going to do 60 grams of the tzatziki. You could do like a lot less of that. So there's a lot of ways, like a protein bar early in the morning, as I usually do. So I had my barbells first thing in the morning. And then I had oatmeal that you guys saw, and now I'm having this. So 60 grams of this is tzatziki creamy garlic cucumber dip, also from Trader Joe's. All of these ingredients, though, you can find anywhere, just different brands. But tzatziki is actually really macro friendly, so that's always a really great dressing style option for these types of bowls. All right, we're doing 1 serving of hummus, 30 grams of just regular old hummus. All right, so I cut up the naan bread and added it as like a little garnish there that I'll be dipping. I'll kind of be like scooping up the whole bowl with the naan bread. It is so good, but we're not done yet. We're gonna add in, it's heated, finely chopped. All right, you guys, there it is. My favorite little Mediterranean shawarma bowl. I don't know what you want to call it, but I call it delicious because it is literally one of my favorite dinners. You guys, I am back in the kitchen and we're going to finish off the day with a Ninja Creamy. I pretty much always make bases the same because they make the best consistency this way. So we do 1 cup of reduced fat, or no, it's fat-free, I think, Fairlife milk. 1 scoop. This is birthday cake protein powder from One Up Nutrition. So good. 1 tablespoon of heavy cream. That's what I've been doing lately instead of the sugar-free Jell-O pudding mix. It's kind of like the same thing in terms of calories. I actually feel like the heavy cream gives this a better consistency. All right, so this is what I'm going to use as the mix-in. I only did half a serving. So half a serving is like 20 grams. So it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yum. It makes the ice cream so good. Like every bite has a crunch, which so now it's kind of already got the hole in the middle. See that? So I'm just going to shove these down that hole, the mix-in setting. So I did light ice cream setting, 1 spin, and then I did 1 respin, and then it's perfect consistency. So what I've been doing every single time, and it comes out the same every single time. Filled up that center with the cereal, which is the best mix-in for this ice cream. I love it. I love it all mixed up and mixed in there. Look at that. Got that yummy crunch. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. That's it, guys. That's it for another full day of eating. All of my macros are here up on the screen. Thank you so much for watching another video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.